Hello and welcome, it's me, LinkingX2, and welcome at Worlds. Starting today is the play-in stage and we will review all the games today and every day this month. I'm trying out a few new things here, so let me know down below how you like them, and don't forget to support little old me with a like while you're at it. But without further ado, let's begin with our opening match. Starting with the first match, Humanoid versus LNG. You see the draft on screen and we see many of the meta picks I talked about in this video. So I'm not going to talk about each of them, but the surprising ones, Sejuani, which is a bit questionable, but if you think about it, CC, tankiness, good versus assassins and immobile champions like Misfortune, but also, yeah, the synergy of her passive with Irelia and Tryndamere makes sense. Still not the greatest pick in my opinion. Then the Jax, I mentioned it, it is an answer against Split Pusher. He beats Irelia and Tryndamere later, so that's a good one. And then the Gragas AP mid, great choice. I really like that. Season 3, good memories. So overall LNG here with more of an early 4-1 comp with teamfight capabilities, while Humanoid has a 1-3-1 comp, not liking team fighting all that much with their champions. Then in the game, Humanoid starting with like solid laning phase, we know them for that. Chovy has an interesting Tryndamere start with the 3 Regiv beans against Gragas, which is, yeah, a neat little thing. Humanoid stays objective focus and, yeah, does well in the earlier game. LNG tries to target the bot side, which is rather weak. I mean, Ezreal Karma not the best laners, but on the other side, Chovy and Humanoid's top are also generating objectives. After slowing down the game a bit, Humanoid and then the Tryndamere take over the game, which is like, yeah, obvious in the mid game. But LNG has the better team fighting with, well, their champions they have drafted for themselves, and they win a crucial team fight in the 30th minute, getting the Baron and the 3rd Ocean Drake and setting themselves up with a massive lead to snowball the game to the finish line. My personal highlight in this one was I won this buy of the Vigilant Wardstone, an item that is completely underrated. I mean, it gives you 2 pink wards and 4 green wards on the map, 6 wards, that's insane. The stats are also nice, really love that item. The MVP for this match goes to Arley's Jax though, really good individual performance. His team fighting was also very solid. Yes, the champion was set up for success, but damn, he did play it well, so yeah. Coming to the next match in Group B, Infinity vs Red. Again, we mostly see standard champions of this meta, but Lilia and the Jarvan a bit unexpected, as well as the set, but they're still, yeah, just in the B or C tier in some categories. Bit strange though. Both teams drafting overall for team fighting with some nice ultimates, but Red, the addition of the Camille, as well as the set in a sense, have a few more tools to adapt to a few more different game states, and yeah, in the end, early objectives and skirmishes ended up in Infinity's favor, so they move into the late game nicely. In set mid game though, yeah, that's where they falter. Red is able to dominate with way better team coordination, with obviously a comp advantage and, yeah, seemingly Misfortune diff. Titan on the champion, completely smurfing and, yeah, getting also the MVP here in this one. Honorable mention goes to Camille player Guego, doing fairly well himself, but yeah, strange to see an ADC do so well. In the following we have LNG vs Peace. Again, we see many of our expected picks. Galio a bit strange, even after all the nerfs he's still being prioritized highly. Makes sense as TF was banned, but still a bit strange, especially to see him so early. Then we see finally Z jungle in pro play, pick that we expect to come in, but weren't so sure. Also Fiora, nice, always glad to see her. And yeah, with the Fiora pick and 2 assassins, LNG is looking like to widen the map, roam, split push, all that good shot with roams and split pushing. While Peace has nice team fighting tools, but with 2 globals as well as an assassin jungler, they have means to punish this more wider and thinner playstyle of LNG. Setting up Arley with Gangsto, paired with his own great Fiora play. Yeah, he's taking over the game completely, 4 kills go into his pocket, and then yeah, LNG dominating, eating up everything. And yeah, it turned into quite the one-sided game quite fast. And yeah, LNG not stepping off the gas, rolling over the OC representatives in, yeah, about 25 minutes. And yeah, You can guess it. Ale again getting the MVP, this time Fiora really popping off today. Tarzan, if you're asking what's he doing, he's still doing fairly well, but Ale just in the limelight for today. In the last match for Group B for today, we have Hunger Life versus Infinity. Again, we see no strange picks here. Zoe, bit confusing. Renekton, what is he doing here? Azir, we guessed that he would show his face, but we didn't hope so. Then obviously some stuff that was on the brink in the camps. Amumu support, dominating with highest win rates, and Graves in the later half coming in the top lane and sometimes in the mid lane. Oh, some spicy champions entering the rift. Hunger Life here with sadly standard LCK comp, scaling, team fighting, decent tools, but they have solid lanes though. And yeah, the main reason this comp can actually work is obviously due to individual skill gapping the opponents in the laning phase and then team fights, where most of these champions can pop off if they're fed, but well, that only works in some cases, right? Infinity on the other side trying to counter, but their comp is also a bit weird as well. Zoe not really liking her teammates all that much, but considering that Cody is like a Zoe main, it makes a bit more sense and it's more forgivable. In the game, Hunger Life farming up nicely as they always do, and gaining some sweet early picks here and there. As such, Hunger Life can play right into their game plan, and yeah, they're doing fine overall. Throughout the game, Infinity is finding some great jabs and punches here and there, and with Willer overextending in the river, it looked quite dicey at some points, but well, it's not enough, right? The farm leads, the macro leads are too large, and even after such a slip up, Hunger Life is still in control of the game. Still, again and again, we see the strength of the MF combo, blocking up the carries while shooting them down from afar. Just very strong. Anyway, getting pick after pick and about equalizing the skill score, Hunger Life ends up with a massive lead, and well, it shows in the skill gap between the players, which is in the end not that close. So you might ask, who gets the MVP here? Is it Chovy with his Azir? And then we say no, it's not. Azir, if you look at the draft, is actually a terrible pick here. Amumu, Misfortune, and even Zoe are doing quite well against him, and as such, Chovy wasn't really able to perform too well again, but he left the stage for Deft, and yeah, he has been showing up. He's been doing well in solo queue, and now he's doing well on stage with his Ezreal. And yeah, he gets the MVP, which is on one side good for Hunger Life, right? Deft popping off, it's good. More players stepping up. It's sad that Chovy's not doing too well today, but I bet his time will come. Coming to Group A with UL versus Detonation focusme, we see a bit interesting bans here, but overall in the pigman, nothing too outstanding. But in the later half, we see the Talon, which finally comes. We were waiting for that. And then Jace, Orianna, Gnar. Jace obviously still top tier top laner, but Orianna and Gnar are a bit outdated, right? Like more champions, right? And Gnar in particular is completely terrible. Like, what are you doing? And especially picking Gnar into Jace, like it's complete in. So UL with a bit more of a standard draft, not what we usually see today. On the other side, Detonation focusme seem to have adapted more to the patch and more to the meta at the moment with LeBlanc and Talon jungle, which are highly contested picks. Slumping in the early game though, with terrible Gnar pick that gets punished over and over again. UL does actually start strong into this game, but then Steel shows why Talon is so super strong, and then he gets picks left, right, top, everywhere. And yeah, with Misfortune's long range ultimate, LeBlanc follow-up, and LeBlanc's follow-up, DFM builds up quite a nice lead in the mid game, and yeah, they're looking poised to win the game. They have to give it to UL though, their more conventional draft has a solid phalanx and defense like turrets nicely, but after stalling out the game a bit, they still end up defeated. MVP, as I alluded to, goes to Steel's Talon, really looking nicely. Even though Arius LeBlanc was demolishing the opposition, I think Talon was the one that got the game rolling. Coming to Galatasaray versus Beyond Gaming, finally we again see Misfortune at this point with Lee Sin 100% present in Big Man. Other than that, we're a bit confused to see Xin Zhao again and again, which is like yeah, he's not the best jungler. He's solid, but not top of the pop. Finally, we also see Ryze. Again, the Orianna, Braum also a bit strange to see him picked so early in the draft, but not the best counter to Braum, a decent one. The Jarvan self-counter pick also, big question mark. And overall, we can say that Galatasaray gets a really solid draft with good roaming abilities, Bard, Ryze and Qiyana obviously well equipped to do so. And yeah, they also have like good team fighting tools as well. Power curves are also nicely. Yes, they can fall a bit in a hole if they get rolled early, but Beyond has not really drafted for that. So overall, I think Galatasaray ended here with a very solid draft, and Beyond with a more conservative comp. Not really feeling it. Low early power, solid lanes that can survive, but they're not generating leads. They can survive, but they can't contest objectives or roams. In the end, they will end out behind. And Jarvan is a complete troll as a self-counter pick. Yes, there are immobile targets on the opponent side, but it's a bit greedy, I think. And I think that is a bit greedy what they did here in draft. Great early game as well then from Galatasaray. Beyond taking it back here and there with jabs from the frontman Doggo. But Ezreal is not like a season 9 champion. He can't really 1v9 in this scenario, and ADCs in general are not all that great unless you're Misfortune. So yeah, it's not enough. After some crucial missteps in the later stages, they run into Galatasaray blindly into the jungle and get slaughtered, lose the Baron, lose their lives, and fall behind 4k. With the gold slightly increasing, Galatasaray is still not able to finish the game. Look at the draft, they only have a Misfortune really to push towers, and with Xin Zhao, Ori and Jarvan, she can't really step up to the towers all that comfortably. But after Beyond again throws the game, taking a risky Baron, Galatasaray is in the end able to finish. And yeah, I think the one again who started the early game is another jungler here, Mojito, with the Qiyana, gets for me the MVP. Overall solid performance from the team, but I have to credit him for the start here with the early game. Coming to the next one, the match we have all been waiting for, Detonation focusme versus C9. And yeah, we see more great picks here. LeBlanc, Qiyana, Misfortune. But then again, Nar, what is he doing? Jhin, Alistar. Terrible picks here from Detonation focusme. Hinting the draft, but C9, we have to say, they also out-drafted from top to bottom, punishing these mispicks. So yeah, both sides contributed to this draft canyon. Great team fighting as well from C9, not only winning lanes, and there's also the Irelia completely ripping apart the Gnar again. And he's being run down from level 1, and overall Detonation focusme is not able to make any plays at all, always on the back foot. And C9, they punished these mistakes again and again, and then pushing ahead, dominating LGL's representative from early to end. And overall, quite the sad game, still not able to do anything. Arya, as mentioned, on the back foot here in the mid lane against PERKZ, and PERKZ in particular, able to steal many great ultimates. Yes, he gets a bit of help with the Alistar pick there, but still great performance from him. Gets the MVP from me for this one. Please show more of that. In NA, obviously, he wasn't doing too well. This is a good start for warming up to Worlds. Coming to the last one, UL versus Galatasaray. And we start again with a bit of a strange pick here. Camille first pick, not what we really expect. Also a Trundle, not really in the meta as of now. Clear speed way too low, no tanks really to steal stats from. Bit strange. I'm also a bit intrigued by the Gwen pick here, but still fine. DTF obviously was banned quite a lot today, but with the Talon, that's something that you don't want to face. It's really powerful, and overall UL has a really mismatched draft, have the Amumu power for team fighting, but then they have champions that want to split more, so it's not really matching up too well here. Then Galatasaray on the other side, again with a clear-cut draft, with highly mobile champs that can be anywhere at any time, that roam around and can skirmish and pick very well. Really straightforward, really simple, well done. Galatasaray also doing individually very well. Alive, the AD carried 1v1 stuff in the bot lane. Crazy being a rock in the top lane. Obviously Talon and TF completely demolishing the top side. 3v3s, 2v2s and whatever. Dominating the map as a whole. And and overall Galatasaray using their comp to their advantages and generating leads early on, snowballing that. They don't stop, pick up kills, farm, objectives everywhere, anywhere. Overall, quite good what they're doing there. They get caught a bit here and there. It's not perfectly clear what the gameplay is, but overall, their game plan and their drafts are at least a step above most of what we saw today. And in the end, even in some poorer fights, it's just a champ, it's just a skill, and it's just a gold gap. Galatasaray looking really promising in Group B. In the end, who is going to get the MVP? That is my question. Alive dominating individually, Mojito and Bululu dominating the top side. Crazy, as I mentioned, doing fine in individual matchup as well, surviving 1v3 ganks. In the end, I'm giving it to Bululu, partially for the KDA, which obviously is nice, but the KDA also shows that he has been more consistent in the team, not dying, not getting caught, missing a few skill shots, but overall, the most consistent member today. Coming to the MVP ranking, and well, it's just the first day, but we see Ale in the first place with obviously 2 MVPs and a bunch of people in second place, Bululu, Mojito, PERKZ, Steel, Deft and Titan with, well, 1 MVP. We will look how this evolves throughout all the playing stage, and then in the end we can see who was popping off, which will be super fun. Obviously, let's take a look at the standings as well. Leading Group A is LNG with the 2-0 score, followed by Red with 1-0 and Hunger Life with the 1-1 score. Peace and INF still winless with 0-1 and there are 2 scores. In Group B, Galatasaray standing on the top as well with the 2-0 score. C9 and DFM are on their heels, and there are Beyond Gaming and UL who have yet to destroy their opponent's Nexus. Thanks for watching, that's it. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and also comment down below how you liked the first Worlds review. Any form of critique or things that I should cover in the future, I will gladly receive all your advices. So let me know. Tune in tomorrow where I will cover some more great games like C9 versus Beyond Gaming or Galatasaray. So see you then, have a good one, bye.